Hello, my dear students. Good afternoon and welcome to Gradeup India's largest online education platform. Today, we will discuss the strategy for DUJAT. DUJAT के लिए कैसे preparation करना है for the English section, that we will discuss today. Okay, please do join me, and then let's very quickly see if you are going to prepare for this particular exam. This is one exam that tests your all-round ability, and this is one of the exams, most coveted exams also, right? So what will be the preparation strategy for English? What will be the strategy for English? Now, my name is Vinod Shankaran, and I have been teaching these classes, that is taking these classes for BBA Entrance Exams and CLAT Entrance Exams for the last 15-16 years, maybe, I don't even remember. Okay, but more than that. And I have helped many students achieve what they wanted in their lives. Okay, so English is pretty easy, provided you follow some of the tips I give you. Or if you want to prepare and you think that you lack skills in English and you want to learn, then you should join the course. Okay, so quickly join me and then let's start. Okay. The first one is, okay, how to go about learning English. Okay, now let's see what are some of the things asked, sir. So let's look at the questions, the kind of questions that will be asked, and then we will go to this preparation strategy itself. Okay, first of all, what is the syllabus? Okay, English, what is the English syllabus? What are we supposed to learn? I'll show you that. I'll give you some preparation tips and the importance of vocabulary and reading ability. Now, these two should be able to carry you home. Okay, it's pretty easy. Okay, so if you are good at vocabulary and reading ability, then I don't think you will face an issue in cracking the DUJAT. Okay, now I'll show you some questions also. The first question is from DUJAT 2020. Now, I will discuss the strategy, but then try to give me the answer to this. Okay, give me the answer to this question, and then we can move on and see what we can do. Okay, neither, and you want the antonym. Now, more often than not, this is the first tip I want to give you. Read the question well. Okay, usually what we do is you end up messing up the question. That is, you don't read the question well and you answer something and later on find that you were not all that careful in reading that question itself. Okay, so first thing is neither. Sir, I come across this word for the first time. Is there a way I can guess it? Of course, there are certain ways with which we can guess the meaning of a word or the antonyms or the synonyms of the word. But having said that, you still need to have some vocabulary and some skills which can be used to even guess. Okay, so now, so one of the things I ask my students to do is, first of all, to know what kind of word this is. That is, how do you categorize this word as? Does it have a negative connotation? Does it have a positive connotation? Or it's a neutral word? So it can be used in both contexts. Okay, now this neither is in the negative context. Okay, in the negative context. Then immediately, if you're looking for you're going to look for if this is a negative the word, then we are looking for a word which might have a positive connotation. So I'm sure you would come to timely. Okay, you might also come to peak. Okay, reject, you would say, so that is a negative word. And clone is another word, you might say this is a neutral word. So this also you may leave, but these two words you will certainly come to. And then the second thing we do, again a tip, you see, these are the things you have to learn. Again a thing, how does it look like? Does it look like a noun? It looks like a verb, it looks like an adverb. So this looks like a noun. So timely cannot be a noun. This has to be an adjective or an adverb. Okay, adjective primarily, it cannot be an adjective. Cannot be an adverb. So what should be the meaning? Peak. And if you go with this, you'll be right, because the answer is B. The answer is B. So that way, if you are able to use your knowledge, Pushpesh, now there is an Urdu word, of course, Pushpesh, it is. Yes. Okay. So if you are preparing for DUJAT, then the ability to use your skills is always, it will always come in handy. सारी चीजें लगाना है, ठीक है. Sam, dand, ved, sab laga mein, tabhi to you are going to crack the exam once. You are not going to do it for 4 years. Okay, so we'll try everything in our mind. The second one, okay, second question. Now these questions are pretty challenging, easy, both. Okay, DUJAT always comes up with very good questions. Now, which one do you think will fill in the blank? The railway track ran dash the road and dash a car or two. I could not see any traffic when I traveled that way last summer. Which one do you think is the answer? Which one do you think is the answer? Here we will require grammar. Here you will require grammar and the need to understand the sentence also. Okay, so if the first one was purely vocabulary, so having vocabulary skills. The second one is about having vocabulary skills together with grammar. So the railway track ran dash the road and dash a car or two. I could not see any traffic when I traveled that way. Ikka dukka car ke alawa. Ikka dukka car ke alawa. Now, if you do not know the difference between beside and besides, you might get stuck here. Okay? If you do not know the difference between beside or besides, then we might get stuck here. Besides is ke alawa. Okay? Apart from. Besides is apart from. And beside is by the side of. Now, see, if you don't have this clear-cut idea, okay, there are many words in English which will look similar, but they have different meanings. Maybe there is a slight change in spelling, or the pronunciation is the same, the usage is different. Okay, there could be many different ways of writing the word. Okay, so, and the meaning could be different. Abbatana, Pushpesh, what could be the answer? The railway track ran dash the road and ke alawa, I could not see any traffic when I traveled that way last summer. What do you think? Okay. What do you think? Any answer? Am I going to get any answer? Okay. So, now here the answer is B. It is beside and besides. Okay, the answer should be beside and besides, because by the side of the road, the railway track ran by the side of the road, and besides, apart from a car or two, I could not see any traffic. Therefore, B is the correct option. Okay, so grammar is also important. Vocabulary is also important for DUJAT. And then we come to this. See, another grammar question. Do you imitate the fashion of others? We want this in active or passive voice. If it is in the active, change it to passive. If it is in the passive, change it to active. What do you think is the answer for this? Do you imitate the fashion of others? And if you do not know, you require the skills then. If you do not know the answers, then then you need to know what is active passive and also learn how to convert. The answer is pretty easy. Do you imitate the fashion of others? Okay, the subject is you. The subject is you and the object is fashion. Okay, so this fashion of others must become the subject and you must become the object. So, is the fashion of others. Okay, here this becomes the subject and this becomes the object. That is all we do. Okay, what do we do in active and passive? In active voice, the doer is to the left hand side of the verb. Okay, in the passive voice, the doer is taken to the right hand side of the verb. That is all we do. Okay, good afternoon, Diksha Beta. Good afternoon. It is taken, the doer is taken to the right hand side of the verb. And then, sir, you are using the word doer. Why don't you say we interchange the place of subject and object? We exchange the places of subject and object. No, I won't say that, because there are quite a lot of things that as you start learning, you will understand that the better word to use here will be always doer, not the word subject. Okay. Anyway, so that will come when we learn the concepts. Okay. So now we come to DUJAT preparation. DUJAT preparation. How do we prepare for Delhi University joint admission test? Now, English, what all are asked? Grammar, vocabulary, and reading ability. Now, this is slightly different from other exams. Okay, if we talk about hotel management, etc., it will have a slightly different kind of syllabus. Okay, but most of it is the same. The level of questions change, and the number of questions from different topics change. Now, again, basics, parts of speech, tense, subject verb agreement, modifier, symmetry, voices, and narration. We saw a question from voices. Okay, you may not get too many questions from here. Okay, a maximum of about 30% questions from grammar. Vocabulary questions are slightly higher. Okay, you could say 40% are vocabulary questions, and the rest of the 30% questions. Okay, we'll put it this way: 20 and 30. 20 and 30, that is 50%. The rest of the 50% comes from RC, verbal reasoning, and sentence arrangement. Reading comprehension, verbal reasoning, and sentence arrangement. Okay, now, which means we have to focus on this area more than the vocabulary and the grammar, because you see, grammar for 20%, maybe we'll have to learn too many concepts. Okay, so, vocabulary, it's not going to be enough any day. Okay, we can learn a few tricks whereby we can actually guess the meaning of the word, and then we can do a list, at least a list which will at least bring me to that level where I can start taking the exam. Say, learning about 2,000 words, 2,000 new words that you do not know. How to go about it, I'll tell you. Grammar, I'll teach you the most important concepts with which we can crack these 20% questions. Not all grammar will learn. Will learn grammar in a fashion which can actually give you the abilities to crack these exams. Okay, and then vocabulary, again, focused vocabulary is what we'll do. And then I'll also teach you the skills. If I do not know the word, will you take a guess, sir? Will you take a wild guess? No, I'll not take a wild guess. I'll take an educated guess. And how do you do that educated guess? All those things I'll teach you. Okay, and this reading ability is an absolute must. Okay, here I can teach you concepts, but the practice has to come from you, as it is for the other sections also. I'm not saying that you do not require practice for other sections, but grammar skills can be taught. You will not know it. I'll tell you, okay, beta, this is how this works, and you're done. But reading ability, I might teach you 1,000 concepts. You don't put it to practice and you don't do the hard work, it will never come to you. Okay, so now, how to improve reading ability? How to improve reading ability? Now, because it's 50%, I'm focusing on reading ability. Grammar, I have to teach. I'll teach you how to go about it. Vocabulary, I'll tell you how to improve vocabulary. Now, see, reading itself improves vocabulary. Improves your ability to read and understand. Enhances your vocabulary. What to read, sir? Read novels if you can. Read articles. Now, see, I will not say novels, sir. I wrote novels as the first item on the list. I would say rather articles, and that too business articles, articles related to the business world. Okay, where will you get these? Umpteen places. Okay, right from an app that I use. I use an app called Flipboard, and I choose the topics. I say, okay, these are the topics and these are the subjects I'm interested in. You choose subjects which are close to your study, okay, what you're going to do, that is management. So go for finance and management skills and that and this, and then start reading. Okay, that's important because it will give you two things. One, it will give you the vocabulary. Second, you will come to terms with some of the terminologies and some of the concepts in the business world. Okay, that improves your GS also. Okay, and it enhances your vocabulary also. Now, apart from learning vocabulary from reading, we also have to do a lot many exercises. Every day you must make it a point to do at least 50 words, say 25 synonyms and 25 antonyms. You may not know any one of them. You tried 25 questions, you got 0. Don't worry, you learned 25 new words. Okay, When we are in the practice mode, you should always believe that practice actually gives you new words, new concepts. You're not supposed to get good marks there. Once you believe, yes, I have seen, read 2000 words. Now, if I'm not able to do questions, then there is a problem. Otherwise, there is no problem. Okay, in the initial stages, you should do the 50 questions without worrying about how many you are getting right. Okay, rather how many words you are learning that day. That should be your motive. And don't worry, don't try to learn lists. Say I get a list of 2500 words having say 20 pages, and I try to cram each page every day. That's not going to happen. You'll not be able to cram it. The best you can do is, even if you do get hold of a list, then the best thing to do is read the list once or twice, but do a lot of questions. Okay, and then it also helps you understand various styles of writing. There are many different ways. For every topic, I'll have a different style of different organization, different way of thinking, and different way of putting my thoughts together. So understanding the different styles of writing will become important, because essentially the author has got something to tell you. He has got a purpose for writing. Now the purpose, how it is presented to you, could be very, very different. Because I might do it in a different fashion. Some other author might do it in a different fashion. Therefore, when you start reading and you get the skills from me, you will see that there are things that you need to understand. Okay, the previous writer in the previous article, his point of view was put in a different fashion. Now this guy uses a different kind of logic and a different kind of approach. Okay, and it keeps you informed. Make newspaper your best buddy. I would say newspaper, especially business columns. Business columns, because we are talking about DUJAT and BBA and BBAs. Okay. Now let's come to the next one. Let's come to the next point then. Okay. Now here, after reading, now this is again very important. Form an opinion based on the information you have read in the article. You have some knowledge and you are reading some more. There might be times then immediately your mind starts working. You say, okay, I don't agree with this author, at least on these points. And there are some points I agree with. Okay, so form your opinion based on the information that you have and based on the information the author is trying to push. Okay, and test your opinion for the strength of reasoning with your friends. This is a very important thing, because you will have questions called verbal reasoning. We'll have questions called verbal reasoning questions. I'll show you one. Okay, verbal reasoning questions. To do this, you should be able to read, form an opinion, and also be able to maybe try it with your friends, so that they also come out with their points of view, and then you can have a healthy discussion. Don't take disagreements as ego clash. Don't do this, because then this will be wasted. The entire entire thing that we are trying to do will be wasted. So the best thing to do is, don't take it as ego clash. Simply think that you are talking from a point of view and the other guy is talking from a point of view, and we may differ, and we may also want to change our opinions accordingly. Okay, then this is the question. Can you answer this? This is one of the verbal reasoning questions asked in DUJAT. Can you try it? Read the question first. For verbal reasoning questions, it's always important to read the questions first. Which of the following, if true, would cast the most serious doubt on the accuracy of the group's contention? Which means, in the passage, the group has come out with, yes, okay, the group has come out with a, it has come out with no opinion or its own argument, its side of the story. And it must be basing its thought on some facts. Okay? What we need to do is say that what the group is saying, what the group contends, what the group opines could be wrong because of one of the sentences given below. Because it says, if true, if one of the options given below is true, it will make the contention of the group false. Which one do you think is the answer? Group का कहा हुआ गलत साबित करना है. Which sentence will do that? Pushpesh, are you trying the question? Diksha beta, are you trying the question? Give it a try. आपके वाले में तो नहीं आता. मैंने in your say hotel management, you don't get such questions. Don't worry. Okay. If you're not able, let me tell you. See, let me read out this question and see. A conservation group in the United States is trying to change the long-standing image of bats as frightening creatures. What do they want to do? They want to change the image of bats as frightening creatures. They want to change it. So what must they be saying? They might say something else. They are frightening, they are not frightening, or things like that. Okay, so let's read. The group contends that bats are feared and persecuted solely because they are shy animals that are active only at night. Okay, solely because they are shy, solely because the bats are feared and persecuted solely because they are shy animals and active only at night. So, what is the basis of the argument for the bats being frightening creatures? He says, see, frightening creatures. If you're a frightening creature, okay. Solely because they are shy animals. Okay. It says if you're a shy animal, and active only at night, you have to be frightening. This is what the authors want to disclaim. Okay, the group says this is how we feel. If an animal is shy and active only at night, we think they are frightening animals. Therefore, I want to change this opinion and say that solely because they are active at night and they are shy doesn't mean that they are frightening. This is what the group wants to conduct. The group wants to say. But the question says, prove the group wrong. Say that if there is an animal which is shy and active, it will be frightening. It will be frightening. Okay? In which case, if this happens, you want to prove it wrong by telling that if this happens, just because they are shy and they are active at night, they are built in the passage. Try this. Which one is the answer? Tell me. आंसर क्या होना चाहिए बताना. What happened? You gone?